Oh, no, the account is here. Hey, Bree, I wanted just to double check and so if just who actually was just RSVP'd and will accept the meetings.
Okay, give me 1 second, Hunsu.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Irma. Thank you for joining. Let me see. Omar is here.
Hunsu, it looks like only Irma and Kevin registered.
Oh, I don't know. It's around the time, the vacation. That might be Labor Day. Okay. Let me see. I think a host were actually just came back and I realized. Looks like only we need one daughter, the Melanie, Kevin, Irma, at least one more. Okay. Okay, let's wait just a couple of more minutes and up to 1:15. All right. Thank you so much, Matt, joining. So at least we have a quorum, and I think it's just a couple of more minutes. I was just want to wait. So we're gonna start at 15. Let me see. Missing town of Sahuarita, City of Tucson, Orfeld is here, town of Marana, and Pascuayaque tribe here, Aoeo, and Tar is here, and Pima County, and Kevin here. Missing Josue, South Tucson. Yeah. Okay. So Tracy is not available, and Lisa is not available. All right. All right. Run the time. All right. Thank you. And we have a quorum, the five. And today, the August 27, our PopTech meeting will now come to order. So first, introduction. Um, let's just get it started. And Matt,
Yeah, Matt Taylor with the town of Marana.
thank you. Thank you for joining. And Melanie,
Melanie Sims, town of Aurora Valley.
thank you. Pamela,
Pamela Keen with Tucson Unified School District.
thank you for joining. And Scott,
Scott Robidoux, Manager Planning with Tucson Airport Authority.
thank you. And Tara,
Clara Salomon from the Office of Economic Opportunity.
thank you. And Orma, are you there? I think you're there. If you can hear, would you type? And yeah, let me know anytime. And then moving on to Kevin.
Kevin Frakes, Pima County.
Okay. Thank you. Irma, anytime, just let us know if you need any help. All right. Then just the PAC side and Eric.
Eric Kramer, PAG.
And here are our just admin team, Bree, Don, Jeff, Jesse, and thank you all. All right, and moving on. And in-kind form, regional planning efforts are enhanced by recording time donated by attendees, volunteers, and participants. PAC collects data on the time dedicated to meetings and activities to apply for use as matching funds for grants and the federal dollars. If you are paid with the federal dollars, please let us know now. Time spent in preparation for this meeting will be estimated by PAC staff who are knowledgeable of the agenda and meeting materials. And the conclusion of this meeting, the session report will automatically calculate your time spent in this meeting. Time spent working on PAC RTA initiatives, programs, and the special projects may also be eligible for consideration for matching funds. Okay, moving on next, the agenda number 3. Overview of county and sub-county population estimates and the projection. Eric will end the present.
Okay. So I'll see if I can. Okay. So I'm going to give a short overview of 2 important projects on population data that involve PAG. And so what we're going to be doing is just discussing a little bit about each of these programs and then the release schedule for this year. Also some of the upcoming data requests and delivery deadlines. And then finally, just a few releases from the census that are coming up as well. So get into population estimates. They are a product of the Arizona Office of Economic Opportunity. Dr. Jim Chang is the state demographer, so he's the person in charge of that program. And every year, July 1st is the release. Well, the release every year is for the July 1st annual population estimate for counties, incorporated places, and unincorporated balance of counties. And the estimates are important because they help inform decision-making by government and businesses as well. And maybe this is the most important. They set the expenditure limitation for counties and places. So the budgets for these governmental institutions. And so what is PAG's role? PAG is a council of government, and so we are charged with the some of the data collection that's involved in the population estimates program. That it would involve group quarters population, building permits, which would be a sort of a proxy for housing units, and annexations, which also determine where population shifts that have to do with the jurisdictional boundaries changing. So we, as PAG, participate in the Council for Technical Solutions that's with the AOEO. So we are an advisory group. So we can talk about the process and the data and some of the issues with the state demographer and his staff. But PopTech does not approve the estimates. It's really AOEO's decision and delivery. That is the final decision is with them. All right, so we don't have any role in approval. And again, what I said is that the release of these July 1st estimates generally occurs in December, and this year it will be December 15th. Now projections are a little they're different. They're long range forecast. They're not a point in time, which is based on a collection of data in the past, but it's a forward projection based on data and also on again estimating the trends that have happened that in the past as well, projecting those. Now, AOEO is also responsible for producing these at the state and county level. and they are released at the year's end in the 2nd, 5th, and 8th year of the decade. So that means this year is a year for projections. So currently we have a series that goes from 2022 to 2060. The next series will again 2025 to 2060. Again, and they will be published on the 31st of December. Again, COGS such as PAG will participate in the advisory role through the Council of Technical Solutions. So we're involved in that process as well. Now, sub-county or place level projections can be delegated to COGS, such as PAG, and PAG has produced these in the past and will for the next series. And typically, I think it's by statute, the projections are due 9 months after the state and county projections. So that will be at the end of September in 2026. So that will be something we'll be working on this year. Once we have the county level projections, PAG will work on the sub-county, and we'll be following up with jurisdictions to do that. Now, the importance of this data for the projections is used by state agencies. They're required to use it, and also long-range planning for businesses and government also depends on that forecast. So planning for infrastructure, planning for transportation facilities, and some of the things that we do at PAG, such as modeling of travel demand, really are significantly affected by the forecasts of housing growth or population. Now, what's PopTech's role in this? We don't have any vote in the state or county projections. AOEO is the final authority on that, but for our sub-county methodology and our results, PopTech discusses that and approves of that methodology and results. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is just the data, the upcoming data requests and these are for the estimates. So we've already gone through the group quarters request population. It's an annual collection, and they include college dormitories, fraternities, sorority houses, Davis Monthan, military, correctional institutions, and nursing homes. And that was in June, the deadline. We have just sent out requests for annexations for the jurisdictions. So we have a mid-September deadline. So please, I don't know, I've sent them off, and I hope to be hearing back fairly quickly. Some have already responded. And then finally, building permits, which we use to estimate housing units. It's a biannual collection of completions or permits that indicate a resident or a housing unit is able to be lived in, and demolitions. So we have our dates are July through December and January through June. Right now, we're working on January through June. So we ask the jurisdictions for monthly issued, completed, or demo permits, and we review those, and we have a final verification with jurisdictions. So right now that is in process for the next deadline, which is mid-September. I think we have all the jurisdictions except one that have submitted building permits. So I will be following up with that other jurisdiction soon. Other uses of building permits. AOEO also takes that information and delivers that to the Census Bureau for its Census Bureau's Population Estimates Program, which is again an annual data release. We also at PAG in the data science team, we use that data to compile our housing unit inventory, and we use it also in our travel and land use modeling and forecasts. So things like the TIP program and the RMAP process, those all involve those forecasts and the estimates as well. So the last thing is that we have some upcoming releases for the Census Bureau. So September this year, we'll have the 1-year ACS estimates, detailed tables, and then in December, we'll have the 5-year estimates of the detailed tables. So those are important dates that for the detailed demographic and socioeconomic information. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Eric. I wonder if you have any questions regarding about our timeline for the population estimates and the projections. Any questions or anything just related to your building permits or annexation? If you have questions. All right. Then just moving on. Next item. Regional migration population trend. I will present this item. So I attended this morning in LA Business School the forecasting project and also discussed about just the Tucson MSA and the migration population and trends and the forecast. So I think it's just the conclusion and in advance is a similar kind of just the range and we expected. But let me get it started. So here I brought some contents and some other trends from ACS, IRS, and also the LOE population estimate, just to simply translate and our migration trend based on that, like a birth and the natural growth and out of total population. Then plus just additionally, and we'll discuss about the 2022 Pima County and the migration natural growth projection. And we want to just go over what we actually discussed all year for back in 2023 and the summary and discussion. Migration trend ACS. Just when I look at the state-to-state migration, I'm actually just looking at the ACS 2023 1 year, the data. And on the right-hand side and top, you will see the 2020 state migration. And your first thing you see that the same residents, meaning that and in total Arizona population is roughly 7.3 million. And out of like 86% out of that total population is staying and in the same residence. Here second one, different residents in Arizona, meaning that just migrated but same in Arizona is roughly 10%. And different states, meaning that and migrated from or just inbound or outbound, but it's actually more likely counting and the inbound, which is 3.5%, and foreign country is less than 1%. So this is more likely just the 2020 state migration and more likely counting just the inbound. But on the bottom, just you see two tables. Then on the left side and the blue and the right side green. The left side is actually just the inbound to Arizona from other states, and they're listed here, California, Texas, Washington. And on the right side is the outbound from Arizona to the state, other states. So first on the left side, as you expected, and major and the migration and came to state as actually as California and roughly 54,000 and moved to Arizona in 2023. But here on the right side, net migration is just the difference between inbound on the left side, 54,000, and outbound on the right side and 21,000. So we have a positive net migration, especially for the California. But Texas, you see that, and which is actually the second largest state and for inbound migration population to Arizona, almost 17,000. But the net migration, you see that, and 3,000, the negative, meaning that we have more outbound from Arizona, and almost to 20,000 on the right-hand side. So on the left side, you see that, and most of them, and the Colorado, I want to just highlight that. And on the left side, and blue tables, we have inbound and inbound population 8,344, but net migration is almost like half of them, like 4,000. And just to simply compare on the right side, because we have and the outbound and roughly just 12,000. The other is actually just in Nevada, and we have a higher and outbound, and which shows that roughly 1,600 more, and the population actually and moved to moved to in Nevada state. This is the same like ACS, but just want to look at the trend and since 2010. And first you see that and the bottom, the chart, and the orange color line showing that the inbound and migration population, and the other like a gray color shows that the outbound, and here orange color, the bar chart showing that the net migration, so the difference between inbound and the outbound of those in the orange color line and the gray color line. So you see that, and the impact of the Great Recession, and kind of just dropped all the way bottom, like in 2011, then just increased all the way up to 2017. And then just to see that just the gradually and dropped up to 2019 after just hitting the COVID-19 and after the pandemic, and we see that little increase. I'm just looking at the orange color bar chart, and also just in case I brought the blue, and which is the IRS migration, and simply just to compare and the difference for the next just the county level and the migration trend adjustment. So simply I want to compare and IRS migration blue chart, blue bar, and then orange color bar, and the net migration state level and in ACS data. So roughly just the comparing to IRS migration, which is 1.2 times or up to just 2.1 times higher in ACS data. So which is more likely related to non-filing low-income movers missing from the IRS data. So this is the overall trend, and we can see a state level ACS data and the migration trend. And moving on to migration trend, the data source is IRS, but the county level. So simply just the same. You can see the chart on the right hand side. Blue one shows the inflow, the inbound to Arizona. Orange color shows that the outbound outbound from Arizona. So then the gray and the bar shows that the net migration. Then orange color is just the estimated, adjusted, and simply and apply that like just the difference, like just 1.2 times higher, 2.1 times higher by that year, and see in the state level. So simply, and after 2020, 2016, and total 34,000 in migration increase, which is the average, and the annual average of 5.7K, and 5,000, all around just 6,000 in the migration annually. And but it actually just adjusted, and compared to that ACS and the IRS, the difference, then you will see that on the top maybe like a 9,000, 9.2 thousand or just a lower in the 6.8 or 6.9 thousand, and which would be more likely hope to see in our just the county level the migration trend, and considering that some limitation of the tax filing. Also, we brought here and through our just the AOEO population estimate. So our population estimate July 1st, and as Eric mentioned earlier, just simply the numbers and estimated from annual population growth minus natural growth, and which is the birth death and the difference. So you see that, and especially after COVID-19, so the sharp increase and more likely peaked and up to 16,000, and then just dropped in the 2023, 2024. Compared to just simply and averaging recent just the 5-year and excluding that to top is more likely around 8.5 thousand and the migration. And if we include those in the top and the 15,000 and the 16,000, and which would be around like a 12,000 and the migration population estimated in Pima County. So, and just in case and combining all together, what if we include that all just the difference since 2011, and which is roughly just 6,000, a little more than 6,000, and the growth and annually we can see here. This is our in the 2022 and the migration projection, and which was estimated in by the AOEO county level, and we also just reviewed. As you see, and starting from just the 2022 dropped because of that the benefit, like just the short-term increase by the right after COVID-19. We had a lot just migration population, as you see earlier. After then, and the county level migration model actually just showing just gradually dropped and until 2026, then and will be back and increased and up to 2031 gradually, then just applied actually long term in the migration forecast. So which is the top and 8,600 estimated in 2022, and which includes roughly like just the 5.7 thousand and domestic migration and net foreign migration roughly 3,000. So those are more likely just main source of just the population increase from migration. Just in case, we also brought here and natural growth projection. We estimated, as you see here is just a chart on the bottom, and orange or just yellow, the line shows their births, and the blue line shows their deaths. Then the gap between those two and the birth minus death is natural growth. So as you can see, and our natural growth is a negative number, and so negative population growth in all forecast years we projected and back in 2022. Combining all together is roughly 91,000 in the cumulative all the year period from 2022 through 2060. So roughly in 2050, 2049 was topped and more than 3,000 in the negative number natural growth. So simply summarizing of this and the migration trend, and which is really hard, and the migration population is affected by and all those different things: pandemic, recession, war restriction, other government restrictions, but which might not be considered in migration population projection, especially model portion. But we try to just bring and which one is actually right buffer to estimate in our migration population. Natural growth will be in the negative, as we see, but that's based on the 2022 projection, and which was estimated roughly negative 91,000, and the decrease of our natural growth in the cumulative up to 2060. And migration population is critical and may significantly impact the forecast population. And as we actually reviewed, recent trend shows annual 6,000, a little more 6,000, or just a slight more than 9,000. That's the kind of a buffer. We can see our net migration population increase in Pima County regional area based on our 5-year average from the trends of IRS and the other population estimates. And for 35 years, if we assume that and the 6.6K and the 9.2K buffer of annual growth, which can affect like an increase of a regional migration population up to from like a 231,000 to 322,000 by 2060. And considering all of those, migration change could be changes between like in total natural growth and compiled together is roughly 140K to 231K total population increase for that 6.6K to 9.2K annual net migration growth. So I think these are all I have. And do you have any questions? Yeah, Kevin, go ahead.
So for the population change from foreign migration, is there a breakdown by country similar to the breakdown you had by state? Exactly. For the domestic migration?
I think that's really great question. And according to IRS data I got, and there is no in the breakdown and by country, but it shows that the total. And but I can double check. And for domestic migration and the ACS data we have, and by this, the states and the to county, then the state to state. So that's doable.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Any question, other? All right. Okay. We don't have any further questions, but feel free to let us know and regarding population estimates and the projection and or the migration population we presented here. And also if there's additional questions, and we can also include in the total is here and from AOEO, especially for and county level population projection. So migration population is just a starting point, and we also we are currently just reviewing the like a draft numbers what we had earlier in the 2022 numbers. So we're gonna actually review the new draft and prepared by AOEO. So, and if there's any kind of just a difference or any updates, we're gonna just share that items at PopTech meeting. And hopefully, just in case, and we typically had just a meeting and every even month and fourth week and Wednesday. So this time, actually, we switch it in the afternoon, but next round, we hope to have just in the morning. That might be just easier for all of you to attend the meeting. Okay, yeah, thank you. Last, any questions relevant to the timeline of the PopTech meeting, just in case? Okay, and thank you so much. And then moving on, next item. So, and we adjourn in 1:46 p.m. And thank you so much. And I hope you have all and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.